On January 1st, 1999, Europe changed the meaning of money forever. Without fireworks or global headlines, 11 nations agreed to abandon their individual currencies and place their economic future into a single shared system. It was the birth of the euro, and with it, the most ambitious monetary experiment in modern history. For centuries, money had been one of the strongest symbols of national sovereignty. Coins carried kings, revolutions, and identities. A country controlled its currency the same way it controlled its borders. But Europe's 20th century had been shaped by division, war, and economic collapse. After 2 world wars, leaders began to believe that peace could not survive on treaties alone. It needed economic interdependence. The idea was simple but radical. If nations shared a currency, war would become too costly, too complicated, and too self-destructive to consider. Economic unity would force cooperation. Over decades, this idea slowly evolved through trade agreements, shared markets, and financial coordination. By the 1990s, Europe was ready to attempt what no group of independent nations had ever done before. On that January morning in 1999, the euro officially came into existence not as physical cash, but as a digital currency used by governments, banks, and financial institutions. Exchange rates between participating countries were permanently fixed. Overnight, the French franc, German mark, Italian lira, and other national currencies stopped floating freely against one another. For businesses and governments, Europe became a single economic space. Supporters saw opportunity. A common currency would remove exchange barriers, reduce transaction costs, and allow Europe to compete economically with the United States. It would attract investment, stabilize prices, and strengthen political unity. For ordinary citizens, it promised easier travel, clearer pricing, and a shared European identity. But critics warned of danger. Europe was not one economy. It was many economies with different strengths, productivity levels, and political priorities. Countries gave up the power to adjust their own interest rates or devalue their currencies during hard times. Decisions affecting millions would now be made collectively, often far from the people most affected by them. In the early years, the euro appeared to work. Inflation stayed low, trade increased, financial markets embraced the new currency. In 2002, euro notes and coins entered circulation, replacing national currencies entirely. For the first time, people from Lisbon to Helsinki held the same money in their hands. History changed quietly in shops, wallets, and bank accounts. Then came the tests. Economic crises exposed the system's weaknesses. Some countries struggled under debt they could no longer manage independently. Without control over their currency, recovery became slower and more painful. Debates over responsibility, solidarity, and control intensified. The euro survived, but at a cost that reshaped European politics. Today, the euro is one of the world's most powerful currencies. It influences global markets, trade agreements, and international stability. It represents both unity and tension, ambition and compromise. It stands as proof that economic decisions do not end when they are signed, they evolve, strain, and shape generations. Why do we learn history every day? Because the story of the euro teaches the present generation that unity creates strength only when responsibility is shared, and it reminds future generations that decisions made quietly can change the world. Louder than war. History is not old. History is living inside us. One day, one event, one lesson. Mr. Fidi,